Hi, I have in front of me a smart 80 centimeter satellite dish, and it comes in two formats, just the dish itself, or you can buy it actually with this galvanized bracket here for mounting it on a wall. Okay, so typically it's available with standard low-cost shipping directly from freepve.ie. Typical applications of this would probably be more for the European type satellites, Astra 1, Hotbird, things like that. Generally people are using smaller 60 centimeter dishes for the Astra 2 satellite, but it all depends. If you're in Donegal or an off-coast island, maybe you'd be using an 80 centimeter dish here. So, so that covers it anyway. So this is a quality dish, so we'll just go through the component parts of it here. I'm going to cover in some detail the assembly of this here. So this is the galvanized 80 centimeter dish here, so you can see it here. This is the plastic dish bracket that will go on the back of the dish. So this attaches the dish to the angle bracket here that will eventually connect onto the pole. We have the nuts and bolts to go with it. We have little assembly instructions here. I have a Phillips screwdriver which I use to do the assembly of this. I've done a small amount of pre-assembly here. I have an aluminium arm that's going to reach out and hold the LNB. And the LNB, of course, is the part that picks up the electronic signal that gathered by the dish from the satellite and runs it down to your set-top box, whether it be a free-to-air, a FreeSat, or whatever. And if you're looking at the version here that has the bracket, just check if it says in the title with bracket or without bracket. We've two versions on the website. So let's come along and we'll do the assembly step on it here. So if we look here, we have 4 of these small bolts and 4 nuts on it there as well. So what I'm going to do at this point in time here is I'm just going to come along and I'm going to just put this on directly here. So I'm just going to push the bolt here, which has a Phillips type screw here, connection on it. I'm going to push it through the back, or the front, from the front of the dish. I'm going to push it in here, and I'm going to drop a bolt into position here, enough. And what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to hold that down, and oops, hopefully I can do this neatly and professionally. So, my finger there is enough to hold that in position, and it's somewhat self-gripping in terms of the thing. And to make the rest of this video go smoothly, I'm going to put in a second bolt here, just above now. Whoops. And I'll just drop another nut in here. Again, I'll be able to hold it in position with my finger. I'll do it here. So we're starting to get a little bit of a feeling here for the shape of it here. So now what we have is we have the dish with the dish bracket, the plastic one, and the back of it pre-assembled. Okay. The next thing we would do is we'd normally put in the 4 bolts here. Okay. So what we want to do here then is we want to use this. This is called the elevation bracket. Okay. So what it's going to do is 2 things. It's going to set the angle that we're going to point the dish at. So you can have it pointing directly forward, but normally with satellite dishes it's going to be pointing slightly up in the air, because that's of course what a satellite is. Dishes are always pointing south, and the typical angle roughly on a dish is normally around 20 degrees, but it will vary a little bit. So we have a symbol on the side here that says Earth, and the Earth symbol always has the line coming from above, and then the Earth thing getting smaller and smaller going down. So what I'm going to do here at this point in time is, remember that there's 3 U-bolts here. 2 are the same size, and the 2 that are the same size are the larger ones, and they're the ones we want to use here for mounting here. So to recap here, because I sort of slightly got sidetracked there as I was chatting, what we're going to do here is we want to set the elevation bracket, but also the dish is not going to hang from free air, so you need to attach it to a bracket. So this part here will go forward and connect on, and this part here, if we just look at these bolts here, this will drop down over this bracket here, which is mounted to the wall. Hopefully that's somewhat clear as I do this. So that's bolted securely obviously to the wall. We come along down, we connect it, and that's it. So what I want to do here is follow my own advice here earlier. We want this Earth symbol pointing upwards. So this is a tight fit here, which we want, because slightly hard to go on, will be slightly thick. So it pushes down and it'll snap into position here now. And at that point, to hold it in position, we just use the final U-bolt here. We push it straight through, comes out the far side, and we grab 2 more bolts here, and just do the assembly on it. Okay, so I'm just going to put one bolt on there roughly. Okay, that's it. So we're getting closer and closer to having something that looks like a satellite dish. So the next thing we're going to do is, I've pre-assembled this. Now there's a plastic cover here and a bolt that went through it. Basically what I would do is, before I would assemble this and click it together, I would put the LNB in. So the LNB is pointing this direction back in towards the dish, okay? And the cable eventually will run out of there down to the set-top box. So when I'm doing this, I push it directly in here like this, okay? And what we have then is we have the ability to lock it into position then using one of the screws there. And that's eventually where we are. So the assembly on that's pretty straightforward. Do we sell lots of satellite dishes? Has everybody moved online? We sell absolutely enormous quantities of satellite dishes, simply because free-to-air is out there. We have lots of people, whether from different nationalities, who just want to get their satellite television here, and this is a great place to get it. We sell all the accessories with it. We sell the installation kits, we sell the bolts for mounting the brackets, we sell the set-top boxes. So beginning to end, Free TV is your one-stop shop.